Hello everybody, I'm Heather Dawson. Every week on our show, we bring you the best of California. So we're going to start off with a tour of headlines that made news around the state. And this week, it's all about going green. San Francisco, some say the new green movement in California is the new gold rush. So far, the Department of Energy has awarded more than $300 million to the Golden State to demonstrate smart electric grid systems. Modesto and more green grant news. The U.S. Department of Labor shelled out more than $5 million for green jobs training to be spread throughout the state, including a new wind energy project in Modesto. Los Angeles Union Pacific's fleet of locomotives is the cleanest of any North American railroad. That's why it's been awarded the Salute to Industry Award for helping to reduce air pollution around the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. Fresno planners want a shuttle service that would give visitors a new way to travel between the county and Yosemite National Park. Now, the county airport was renamed Fresno Yosemite International Airport to trade on the name recognition of the popular tourist destination. San Diego budget cuts continue in education, and Cal State colleges are being forced to turn away thousands of applicants. Yet, expand their academic exceptions to ensure activities such as sports, band, ROTC, and specialized programs like agriculture and engineering.
For kids, by kids. That's been the mission of this Marin County paper for the past 20 years.
I had the opportunity to interview Harrison Ford, General David Petraeus, Channing Tatum, and Amanda Seyfried.
Ever since I finished 5th grade, I started doing a little comic strip.
They said that I am shaping up to be the next Steve Jobs.
What do these standout students all have in common?
I'm a fast-forward veteran, yes.
Inspired by a child, Winifred McLeod published the paper to help give kids a voice and a vision.
We started 20 years ago when my daughter Kendra, who was 11 at the time, said, "Why can't kids have their own magazine?" We stressed to them that you're not writing reports for adults when you're writing for Fast Forward. You're writing stories for other kids.
Kids are in control, and each month Fast Forward puts out 20,000 papers to public and private schools throughout Marin County. Armed with pens, paper, and the art of interviewing, Fast Forward is propelling pupils to pursue their passion.
Skills that it's built the most would be my people skills, because it requires a lot of quick thinking, keeping them engaged with what you have to say and getting the information that you want out of them. So it's definitely helped not only in my reporter life, but also in my personal life.
I think Fast Forward is great for kids' self-esteem. Have them write stories and share that with those 20,000 readers every month, so that it sort of just creates a spinning effect of, you know, hey, there is good news.
From writing the headlines to making the headlines, Fast Forward alum include a Harvard grad and a 14-year-old app developer.
I just got done with my homework, and I was sitting down, relaxing, and it was like, my email client popped up. It was like, "You've got a new email from Apple Developer Connection. Your application is in the store." And I just flipped out. The skills that I learned here in terms of writing and interviewing really helped me.
One standout student is now a second-year law school student at Harvard, and she did her undergraduate work at Harvard too, but she came in as a 6th grader and definitely had a difficult childhood and background, and just looked at me and said, "I'll write about anything." And I took her in, and she went on every interview with us. She interviewed Kobe Bryant, she interviewed Anne Hathaway for Princess Diaries. And then when it was time to apply to college, she said, "Well, I'm going to go to the University of Washington to stay near my mom," because she was a single mom. And I said, "No, Nina, you're going to apply to Harvard, Yale, and Princeton." She comes back here every chance she can. She was here her first week telling the kids, "Fast Forward said yes to me. All my life I'd been told no, and Fast Forward said yes."
For 2 decades, Fast Forward's been saying yes to Bay Area budding broadcasters, leaving them believing in their dreams and shooting for the stars.
These kids are going to be running big companies, that's what I know.
Fast Forward's always looking for their next generation of journalists, so if you want to be on the team, log on to fastforwardweb.com. Bringing you the best of California from Marin County, I'm Monique Saltani for California Life.
When thinking about the holiday season, thoughts of beautifully packaged gifts, glittering holiday decorations, and lively family gatherings immediately come to mind. Or do they? A new survey from Coinstar reveals dirty little holiday secrets that may be surprising. Holiday time is for families. Turns out, not all agree. According to the survey, 1 in 5 actually prefer time alone or spending the holiday with friends instead of family. And when it comes to gift giving, 1 in 4 treat gift giving as a sport, admitting to being competitive when it comes to giving presents to family and friends. Another dirty little secret is that a majority re-gift during the holidays, but only 1 in 5 said they feel guilty about it. In addition, the majority of gift givers said they have a holiday gift buying budget, with about half of respondents reporting they plan to spend between $100 and $400 on holiday gift purchases. Those who need a holiday budget boost are turning to their coin jar, and more than half plan on cashing in spare change to help pay for holiday gifts this season. To find a Coinstar kiosk location near you, visit Coinstar.com.
And coming up, our next guest shows us how going green in the kitchen is as easy as switching from plastic to glass.
Up next, we are hitting all the right notes with Dr. Drew's son, Douglas.
Well, there's no doubt that all of us want to live in a clean and healthy environment, but the stress of knowing how and where to start can be confusing and time-consuming. That's why today I'm happy to welcome the New York Times best-selling author of Gorgeously Green, The Gorgeously Green Diet, and the soon-to-be-released Do It Gorgeously. Environmentalist Sophie Uliano joins us now in studio. So nice to see you and have you with us.
Thank you. It is wonderful to be here, Heather.
And I just love the title of your book. I just have to say, very creative, Gorgeously Green. And I think a lot of people hear about green. It's a buzzword. It's very trendy. But I don't know if a lot of people really understand what the whole green movement is and why it's so important.
Yes, I agree. I think also a lot of people think green is a little overwhelming. It's a bit difficult to do. And you think of the polar ice caps melting and screwing in a curly light bulb. But truly, my passion of writing this book, was that it's so easy. It's so easy to take simple steps that every single person can do every single day of their lives that truly make a difference.
And that's one thing that we were going to talk about today, something really simple we can do in our own kitchens.
Absolutely. And when I was researching and writing The Gorgeously Green Diet, what was very exciting to me is that there are so many things that you can do in the kitchen, simple tips for every day that make a big difference. And the really great thing is that all of these things are money saving too. And so again, many times people say, well, I want to go green, but it's so expensive, and if I have to choose between this product or that product, well, hello, my message is that it absolutely doesn't have to be. So do you want me to give you a couple of little
I would love a couple, and I think
tips?
sometimes too, just a real simple tip, like, going from plastic
Yes,
to,
exactly.
To the glass is something, okay, I can go home and do that today.
Yeah. So that is the number one tip that I would give to people, which is go home and do today, is to reduce the amount of disposables that you bring into your kitchen. So that would be disposable bags, plastic storage containers, foil storage containers, and instead invest in a set of glass storage containers. Now I go to my trusty Pyrex because it's been around for 100 years or so.
Yes.
I love glass. I love this brand because glass is a very eco-friendly material. Glass is stain-proof. It is odor-proof as well, so it's perfect for storing in. And what's great about Pyrex is that they have a variety of different sizes, because I need the little teeny sizes to store in as well as the bigger ones. And also you get the lids, which are airtight, and they are leak proof as well.
So when you're transporting,
which is really important.
Well, when I think of transporting, all I can think about is one time I had cioppino soup from my sister. It spilled in my car. I had to trade in the car because the smell was so bad.
It's the worst, isn't it? And that's actually why I actually love these Pyrex, this new line. It's leak-proof lids.
That's what we need.
And they have a little seal which will disable your cioppino from ending up all over your car. Again, the really great thing about particularly Pyrex is that they have plastic lids which are nice for ease. They just snap on and they don't leak, and they are BPA free. So that's a really important thing. So
And also, I found too that a lot of times when you're searching through your kitchen and you're searching for the perfect Tupperware, you're looking for something that you want, but you have this that you already have all the different sizes and you can bake with it. You can stick it in the microwave, you can stick it in the dishwasher,
Exactly.
and then you can store with it, and you don't have to have anything else.
Yeah, and also the thing, I don't know about you, but I find it so annoying with containers to find the right lid. Now, the really cool thing about these ones is that they nest in each other with their lids on them, because you're never hunting around for that elusive lid to fit the one that you want.
Well, unlike you, I'm not the gourmet cook, so for me, with 3 kids and busy, it's all about fast and easy.
Absolutely. So another great tip that saves time, energy, and the environment is to get a big glass baking dish.
Which I have one of those.
Absolutely. Cook once, eat twice. So if you're making lasagna or a casserole, literally bake double. That way, next week, you can have the lasagna again, you can take it with you on the go, and you're saving on the cooking and you're saving on the washing. And my last very little quick tip that I'm getting in here is it's much more eco-friendly to wash your dishes in a full dishwasher rather than hand wash your dishes.
Yeah, now if we could just teach that to my husband.
Yes, and actually my husband too, because he tries to dispute me on that one.
Yes, yes. Well, you really break it down, you make it easy to do, and it's something really everybody can do at home. And thank you so much for coming on our show and enlightening us a little bit. And I'm excited to learn more about Gorgeously Green.
Great, thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much,
Thank
Sophie.
you for having me, Heather.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
When you hear the name Pinsky, you usually think of Doctor, Loveline, Celebrity Rehab, but for this Pinsky, it's all about the music.
I need to see his face, I need to understand. For the first time, I'm actually going to a studio and I'm recording music, and I think that's really fun. I know what to do.
Trying to make a name for yourself with a famous father may be challenging, but for Dr. Drew's son Douglas, he's proving to pave his own way, one note at a time.
I love Elton John, I love Stevie Wonder. I think that's just because they have a piano voice duo type of thing, which is really unique. I like Josh Groban because my voice is somewhat similar to it.
Playing piano by age 6 and beginning vocal training at age 14, Pinsky learned early on that music was in his blood.
My dad's side, my grandma was a soprano, and she sang, all her life, and she moved out to Vegas and worked with Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis. My dad's a singer also, and he studied opera for 9 or 10 years. And on my mom's side, her grandfather was a gifted musician who worked for Disney, and he could pick things up immediately by ear. And she played the clarinet. My uncle told me that she's actually a gifted musician, and so I think it all kind of combined and gave it to the 3 of us. And we all have some form of art and music.
The trio he's referring to is more than just siblings.
I'm a triplet. I have a sister and a brother. We all look very different. We're all very different in personality. My sister's a dancer. My brother's a math whiz, and I'm more of a musician. I'm usually looked at as an athlete and more of a jock, but no one really knows that I do music, and I've been working on music for a really long time.
Also playing football and baseball at Polytechnic High School in Pasadena, Pinsky, who starts his senior year in September, has definitely learned how to juggle.
It's hard to balance sports and music. I get home from practice at like 5, and I practice piano for like an hour, and then I practice voice for like an hour, so I start my work at like 7:30. It's a rough ride, but it's all going to be worth it.
And let's face it, not many 17-year-olds can play this. Having supportive parents along the way definitely helps, doctor or not.
He's like a regular dad to me. He's always there to show up and help us out. He's home a lot, and it's impressive that he can do that when he's working so much. So I don't think there's really a negative side to having him. It's more positive.
But when having a tough day, Pinsky's thankful to have the perfect outlet.
I found something that'll always make me happy. Whenever I'm upset or whenever something happens, I'll just go straight to the piano and sing or practice voice.
So what will the future hold for this Pinsky? Well, with continued hard work, sky's the limit.
I would love to take it as far as I could. I'm going to keep going. I'm figuring out how to create melodies, and it's actually getting really cool. I hope to sell music. We can only hope.
Parents of newborns and infants do whatever they can to protect them from harm, but there may be a threat they've never heard of.
Respiratory syncytial virus. Because it's a mouthful, we just call it RSV. It is in the same family as influenza, but it is not influenza. It's the leading cause of hospitalization for infants in the first year of life.
Up to 122,000 infants a year are hospitalized with RSV.
Well, next thing you know, I'm in the hospital. He's hooked up to a breathing machine, and we were there for 6 days. I remember feeling bummed that I couldn't do anything about this, helpless, sad, and so I just started really educating myself on what RSV is, and I found out there's no treatment for RSV, which is why prevention is critical. I am proud to sit here next to Dr. Forbes, and we've partnered with AstraZeneca to help spread awareness.
RSV season runs from November to March every year. To learn more about RSV symptoms and how to protect your baby, visit rsvprotection.com.
The quality of health care can vary widely, even among hospitals in the same town. So when you want to be sure you're getting the best possible care, a free online service can be your best ally.
And we look at two of the most important things. One is, what are the complication rates in hospitals? And two is, what are the mortality rates? Or said another way, the survival rates.
In all, the Health Grades report examines a total of 32 different conditions so that people can make informed choices about where they get their care.
In Northern California, Washington Hospital in Fremont, California, in that South Bay area, is in the top 2% of hospitals in the nation for orthopedic surgery and total joint replacements. That's what their specialty is. John Muir Hospital, based in Concord, is in the top 1% of hospitals for cardiac surgery.
The information about local hospitals and their specialties can be found for free at healthgrades.com.
America is in the midst of an opioid crisis, and surgery is often a gateway to persistent opioid use. In fact, statistics show that 12% of patients who had surgery in the past year became addicted or dependent on opioids. Despite the availability of non-opioid pain management options, new research shows that opioids continue to be overprescribed following some very common surgeries.
We're still giving out too many pills for a given procedure. So rotator cuff surgery on the average may get more than 90 pills, and joint replacements are going to get more than 100 pills.
Not surprisingly, surgical patients are concerned about how their doctor will manage their pain. However, despite the availability of non-opioid pain management options, findings in the new A Choices Matter status report find that 2/3 of doctors feel pressure to prescribe opioids.
In medical school and residency, we're traditionally trained to treat post-surgical pain with opiate medication as a first line of treatment. As time's gone on, we've later understood the consequences of opiates and too many opiates.
And opioids can have dangerous consequences not only for the patient, but for family members. Research shows 90% of people prescribed opioids keep them in the house long after they need them.
And we know from research that one of the main gateways to opioid use among adolescents is leftover opioid pills in the house.
Many local governments, police departments, and even some pharmacies have drug disposal programs. And patients are now being encouraged to explore non-opioid pain treatment as a first option.
We should empower patients to ask the questions about what can we do to treat my pain in a non-opioid fashion. I'm not saying that we can get rid of them entirely, but once again, we want to look at opiates as the second, third, or fourth line of treatment.
To learn more about non-opioid alternatives to pain relief, check out planagainstpain.com. For tips on how to talk to children about drugs or talk to a loved one who may be struggling with addiction, go to drugfree.org. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, please go to our website, californialifehd.com. We'll see you next week.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter. And check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best of California.